I need to take a deep breath and just release the day. What's gone on in the past is gone. What's going to come is going to come. And there we are then. It's all good. Today's reading is called Be Present with Peace. Be present with peace. All I ask you to do while you're listening to this is just to be present. I know our minds wander. Even in our Sunday service, I see some people's minds really wandering. Occasionally you see people on their phones, some for legitimate reasons. Some of us actually monitor the online parts of the service, but other people, I don't know what they're doing. And then sometimes people nod off and go to sleep. Hey, it's all part of life. But today's message is a good one, and it is connected with what I'm talking about. Kind of. Be present with peace. First quote is from Eckhart Tolle. I'm sure you've heard of him. The Power of Now. He's very well known in the spiritual realm. If you don't know him, his name is spelled T-O-L-L-E. His first name is Eckhart, E-C-K-H-A-R-T. The Power of Now. I think that was his first book, actually. He's written several more since then. He says, unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear. They're caused by too much future and not enough presence. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, and all forms of non-forgiveness are caused by too much past and not enough presence. And notice he says presence and not present. In other words, he's talking about being in the moment, which is another way of what he's saying there. Is he completely right? I don't know, but I do know this. A lot of us live too much in the past and the future and not enough right now. Ernest Holmes simply says, today is filled with blessings for myself and others. The past is gone, and I gladly let it go. The present is filled with peace and joy, and the future is filled with hope. And that's from, guess where? 365 Science of Mind, and it's on page 54. And this is Mary Davis. James Doty is a Stanford neuroscientist who reports that some 80% of our thoughts are regrets about the past or worries about the future. 80%. But the only place we live, love, and learn is in the present moment. We miss the best parts of our lives when we entertain regret and worry. Although we all have regrets about the past, certainly there are many moments of joy we might rather remember on a regular basis. Dr. Doty reminds us that it's easier to think the thoughts we're accustomed to thinking instead of learning new ones. But isn't it worth learning new thought patterns when the old ones just weigh us down? Instead of dredging up the same painful memories, doesn't it make sense to remember some beautiful ones too? As for our thoughts about the future, many of us are expert worriers. A sport that we need to retire from, as our worry magnifies the negative scene we worry about. I'm going to come back to this. We don't want to imagine the worst case scenario over and over, which gives energy to an undesirable outcome. In addition, worrying adds to our stress levels, leads to a cascade of physical and emotional challenges. Today, begin to create some new pathways in your brain using mindfulness. Continue to draw your thoughts gently back in the present moment over and over again. Notice details, colors, sounds. Walk and eat more slowly. Stay present with what you're doing. Invite your thoughts into the only moment that matters. This one. Okay. It's kind of ironic in a way, but there is a really big connection between being a really good warrior and being a great performer of spiritual mind treatment. Now, somebody said that, I forget him, he didn't say it, or she didn't say it in exactly those words, but they did say effectively that if you've been a great warrior, you will be wonderful at spiritual mind treatment. And I'll tell you what, my mother would have been fantastic at spiritual mind treatment. Why? Because she worried about everything. She lived to be 85 years old. Maybe had she switched from the worry scenario, she would have lived to be 105. Who knows? Oops. Why would somebody say that if you are a really fantastic warrior, you would make a great proponent or a great practicer of spiritual mind treatment? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It means that you're good about getting into emotions. Just think about it. When you worry, you're not just having kind of abstract thoughts about what's going on or what's going to happen. You're actually engaging energy. You're engaging your emotions in the whole thing. And that's exactly what you do in spiritual mind treatment. You think about what it is you want, you add emotion to it, that becomes your belief, and that's what you're going to start manifesting. So if you've been really, really good about emotion in a negative way, once you switch it to a positive way, then you become really good at spiritual mind treatment. So that means really that once we can focus our minds on the positive, if we've been really good warriors in the past, we can be really good at spiritual mind treatment. So it's really ironic, but when you think about it, it's true, because if what you manifest is your belief, and your belief is the sum of your thoughts plus your emotions, then guess what? Worry is a lot of thought and a lot of emotion. Spiritual mind treatment is a lot of thought and a lot of emotion. Question is, which would you sooner have? Would you sooner retain the worries, or would you like to go out and start spiritual mind treatment? It's really quite simple. And oh my God, there's a cat behind me. I gotta let him in. Oh, come on. Come on. Get in. George, get in. Get in. That is our large feline called George. He's a large cat. So if you watch Creative Life, not on Sunday, but if you watch Reverend Lisa, and by the way, she'll be on tomorrow morning around about 9 o'clock, or anytime you watch her that she's broadcasting from home, you're going to see at least one cat. And sometimes you may not see the whole cat, you just may see a tail going back and forth across the screen. But sometimes you'll see the whole cat. And I've got one here right now. He's, I don't know if you can see. No, I'm in the way, but you can't see him. But he's a big guy. We call him George. It's kind of ironic. He was supposed to be named after the cat of some friends of ours in the Netherlands, who was actually called Boris. And my wife completely forgot, thought he was called George, and named him George. So he became George. Now he's Big George because he's a big guy. So anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, bottom line is, if you're any good at emotion, then when you turn it in a positive direction, you're going to be very good at spiritual mind treatment. But it does require one thing. The other part of this message is staying in the moment. Staying in the moment. Those of us who've got, to some extent, ADHD, find it hard to stay in the moment. But we can do it. You know, I actually go out and deliberately do it at least once a day, where I get off and I'm pushed everything at one side. And that's when I do my breathing and my meditation and my spiritual mind treatments. And I do concentrate on that. But I do attempt, when I'm doing other things, to stay in the moment. Do I always succeed? No. Am I getting better at it? Yes. But I have a ways to go. Mary gave us an affirmation. Actually, she gave us really 2, 3, or 4, depending on how you look at it. I'm mindful of where my thoughts take me. I'm mindful of where my thoughts take me. That is living in awareness, right? It's being aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. I look back with joy. I look forward with hope, and I am present with peace. I look back with joy. I look forward with hope, and I'm present with peace. So that's actually turning the whole thing into a positive event. So, as I mentioned before, Reverend Liz will be back at 9 tomorrow. I am on my way now to another meeting, and then I'm going to teach class. So that's the reason I'm on really early today. So I hope you enjoy these readings. I hope you get something from them. And when you get something from them, I really appreciate those of you who go on and hit the like button. But I also would appreciate it, we would appreciate it, if you share them with other people. Repost them wherever you get them. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever it is you're getting them, just go and repost them. We would really appreciate that. And I'm sure the people who get it when you repost it will also be grateful. So simply, until next time, namaste.